So people, in the last rapid match of the first day, this was my favorite game between Leinier Dominguez and Sindarov. They play amazing Italian, so let's see the game. I really like how Sindarov played this game. I'm understanding all the plans and making all the typical plans to win this type of game with black. So okay, let's see the game. E4 by Leinier, E5 by Sindarov, knight f3, knight c6, and Leinier go for the Italian, knight f6, b3, bishop c5, sur castle c6, c3, and against c3 I like the move played by Sindarov. I employ that move in all of my games. a5, avoiding the expansion with b4. And the move order is very easy to remember. For example, against bishop c4, knight f6, against d3, bishop c5. And always, where white goes or castle, we are going to play d6. And always that white plays c3, we are going to play a5. If white makes this in a different order, doesn't matter. If c3, a5, avoiding before. And always, if short castle, d6, easy to remember. And rook e1 here, I used to play short castle, but Sindarov goes directly back with the bishop to b6. The bishop is not good placed on c5 because d4 can king one day attacking the bishop, especially if we go with the knight to e7. So bishop b6 or bishop a7 are natural move. a7 is more employed to come back, but okay, bishop b6 is normal. There are just 8 games here, but the move is fine, of course. Knight bd2, now short castle, h3, h6. Both players are avoiding knight g5 or knight g4, bishop g4, this type of ideas. So h3 and h6 are very natural in Italian. And here Leinier goes with knight f1. She's preparing bishop e3, maybe knight e3, knight d3. This very natural move. And now Sindarov offered the trade of the bishops. His idea, if white recapture, now f takes e6 is countering f5 and d5, and he's opening the f5 for the rook, and then he can land, he can game an attack with knight h5 or knight f4. So bishop e6 very natural, and Leinier responded with another very natural move in the Italian, bishop b5, attacking the knight and avoiding the bishop trade. Knight e7, the idea is knight g6, c6, d5, that's the idea. Bishop a4, because I say that the white black idea is c6, d5, so we leave this square with our bishop. Knight g6, knight g3, and here the normal breaking move going for equal position is d5. That's the natural move, just reaching the equal, and black is perfectly fine. Black have zero problems here. Instead of that, Sindarov goes for a more aggressive move. He goes for this knight maneuver of knight h7. It's not the favorite move of the machine, but okay, it's interesting for play to win. Of course, when your opponent goes back with a knight, we should break our advanced pawns. It's very natural. I saw that in hundreds of games. When a player goes back with a knight, the machine always recommend to break the center and advance the pawns. So of course, d4, knight g5 following his plan. Now after knight takes, pawn takes, black improved a little bit the pawn structure, and he traded his bad knight on f6. Now he has the f4 square for the knight. Here, knight f5 is very important, avoiding knight f4, because if black lands the knight on f4, here black have g3 and king g2, dropping the knight. So that's why knight f5 directly was very important. The problem is that Leinier played the natural move bishop b3, but now Sindarov makes his plan of land a knight on d4. So yeah, the plan of knight h7, knight g5 was very interesting, but have this small refutation with knight f5 not allowing the black knight to go to f4. The problem of bishop b3 of Leinier is that after knight f4 here black have zero problems. Especially his knight is great place on f4. Bishop takes, and black can take with the knight, but f takes is the best move, of course. Opening the file, trying to activate this bishop e3. Here, okay, the machine recommends capture and e4, but I like queen f6 by Sindarov. Capture and queen g4 is the most natural move. I don't really understand why Leinier doesn't place the queen on g4, because queen g4 DLD is not possible, because okay, it's possible, but the d4 pawn is under attack, so I like first capture and then queen g4. Just the queen looks perfect on g4. Maybe Leinier was afraid about some knight d3, but there is nothing to be worried about. Here, queen f4 is the natural move. Instead of that, he played knight f1, very passive. Again, capture, and a4 is the best option, keeping the tension into the d4 pawn. taking more space in the queen suite. Queen g6 not the best by Sindarov. And here d takes e5, pawn takes, and bishop takes, pawn takes, and knight a2 was the best option for linear, just taking all the squares. It's very logical, just doubling all the black pawns. Black have a horrible pawn structure. The only thing good in black position is the for knight, and that he's coming with rook d8, knight d3. But the black pawn structure is horrible, so this looks very natural. Trade all of this, trade the pawns, trade the bishops, and then go for the g4 square. Set up that f3, bad move by linear. This wasn't his best game of linear, of course. And Sindarov finally, with everything well placed, he breaks the center. Great move. D takes. But here, linear tries to go for a similar position that the previously I mentioned. But here, Sindarov okay, he haven't d takes e5, so he have this special move. Bishop b6. But like I said, linear is trying to go for this for structure with where black have for his pawn double. But Sindarov here saw it intermezzo move. Pawn takes f3, great move. If black, if white moves the bishop, then black can capture on g2 with the pawn or something like that. Yeah, for example, bishop c7 doesn't look the best. Because here, or f2 is enough to be winning, for example. Or just capture on g2, then knight here is coming, so black is better there. So black should recapture on f3. And now c takes b6, queen e4, and then he captures on rook d8. It's a very pleasant endgame for black. a4, rook d5. Before rook d3, attacking c3. b takes c4. Rook b3. King a2 and just rook b2 attacking g2. Rook e2 and knight d3. After c5, just knight f2. And finally, linear resign because his knight is, his rook is under attack, and if he moves the rook, his knight is hanging. But after just rook d8 here, the endgame is very unpleasant for white. It's true that the pawn structure of black is not the best, but his pieces are very, very active. He have the control of the d file. He have a great knight on f4. The other rook is in open file. A file, the f5 pawn is weak, so just linear trying to win some space there. He weak more his own pawns. And finally he goes for the d2 pawn, and he finally lost the material. So yeah, great game of Sindarov to win the rapid day. So after the rapid day, the USA team is ahead. They won 2 matches. The Uzbekistan team won 1 match, and they draw the other one. So let's see what's happening in the blitz. Bye bye.